Morning. Today we're going to change oil on a few motorcycles. First one here is a 97 lowrider. They're all under mileage, but we're going to Florida here soon, so I just want to get the oil out, the old, put some fresh in case we get caught in a little bit of traffic down there. You know, I don't want to be changing oil when I'm down there, so we're going to change the oil only in these. Like I said, they're all under due for oil change, so I'm only going to do the oil. The primary and the transmissions are still good, plus we run Bel-Ray in all these, so it's a pretty heavy, thick oil. And let's show you what we got. Alright, here we got a 1997 lowrider. Now I have to refer to these books because I got too many bikes to remember what's going on. So as you can see here, number 9 is your engine oil tank drain, which number 9 is here to the rear of the bike. So let's come down under here and show you what we got. I don't know if I can get this camera up under here. Engine oil drain plug is right here. And we got a 3/4 inch wrench. And we got our catch tank. Alright, let's get to it. Alright, you got to make sure that you check your O-ring. I always put new on. I buy them in bulk and put a new O-ring on my plugs. It's worth the peace of mind. Alright, we got the oil out. We're getting ready to come down below here. Put the plug back in. Yeah. Could be a little hard to try and do this on tape. And I know in the beginning of the video I showed you here was the drain plug back here. That's actually for the transmission. So this bike here is going to get the transmission oil changed. So there we go. Put that in. 3/4 wrench. We'll tighten that up, and then we'll take the filter off. Alright, looky doke here. We got the filter on. We run K&Ns here. They got a nut on the end. You put 11/16 wrench. You spin that right off real nice and easy. It's easier than trying to get a strap or a filter wrench on, because there's clearance here is real close here on the stator. But you gotta love Harley's design. Put an oil filter right above a rubber mounted bushing so you get nice hot oil dripping down on everything, so you wipe it all down when you're done, spray everything off, and we'll clean them before we go too. So we got a filter in. We have both our drain plugs in from underneath. Now all it's left to do is to put our fluids in. This takes 3 quarts of motor oil and 24 ounces of transmission fluid. So we'll get to that, adding the fluid. Come around this side of the bike here. Here's your oil fill, and then transmission fill. So we're going to put 3 quarts of 2050 in here. And we're going to put 24 ounces of transmission fluid in here. Okay. Alright. This is in no way a plug for this motor oil. This is just the type of oil that I choose to run. Valvoline Racing Oil VR1 2050. It's a high performance formula for push rod and flat tappet engines. It's it's an automotive oil. Big thing is it is an anti-foam. It has zinc in it for better lube. And I know a lot of people that race, and you know, other guys that run this. I've run it for years in my other bikes. It's a regular motor oil. It's not synthetic or anything. If this motorcycle come with synthetic, I would have run synthetic, but I'm not going to change, you know, motor oils because, you know, it's the newest and greatest thing out. I go with what's worked for years, and this is what's worked for me. It's around $7 a quart. You can run Harley oil. It's a little bit more expensive. I think you're paying for the label. But again, everybody has their own preference on what they run. We run Bel-Ray in the transmission and the primary. I run Valvoline in the motor. I've never had a problem with it. Seems to be a good oil. I mean, all your oils are pretty much the same. It's just personal preference. There's a lot of what it goes back to. It's just your personal preference. And this is my preference. So we're going to get this last quart in here. I kept this oil inside last night. It's a little cold out. We're in the middle of February. I kept this oil inside so it would flow a little better, not be thick. Take me forever to pour this in here. But unfortunately, I pulled the wrong plug, so I drained the transmission, and that oil was out here in the garage all night, so that's going to go in like syrup. This is my third and final quart in the engine. We'll replace the dipstick, take it off this block. You always want to check these when they're sitting over on the kickstand. And we'll get the oil in, we'll get the tranny in, we'll fire it up. Okay. Alright, moving on to the Springer. This is a soft tail frame, so your drain plug's a little different here. Drain plug right in the bottom of the swing arm. There's a little, goes right in there. Same kind of plug. Already cleaned it, put new O-ring on it. But because this has a tank, your drain line comes from inside down. There's the hose here, and it comes through the frame. You just take that plug out, let her drain out. That's your soft tail style. They don't have the oil in the bottom, the pan, like you plug in the pan there. We're just going to do oil on this one. Again, like I said, these are all getting changed early, so just doing an oil on them. Some fresh oil for the trip. The lowrider, I'm gonna have to bring that in. Something happened to the starter, so do some video on that. I'm gonna have to pull the starter out and probably pull the primary off, see what's going on there. It's doing some grinding and some growling, so alright. Well, this one's 3 quarts of oil also. Filter's in the same place up front. Okay, and then this does have an oil cooler on it. But see, I run these K&Ns because you have this nut right here. Here you take an extended socket, zip that right off. To get in there with a wrench, filter wrench, to try and loosen it, it's just a bugger. It just seems to be a lot easier with this K&N's. K&N's a pretty good filter too, so. Alright, we're going to run this oil out, pull the filter off, fill this one up with some fresh 2050. Alrighty.